Hi everyone, as tradition on this channel, we are going to be voting live for the Game of the Year for the Game Awards, which won't be my personal Game of the Year per se, but just what I'm voting for. I'm gonna vote right here, right now on this video. I do this every year, and this year is especially hard because 2023 has been full of bangers. Also, this is Raiden. He's decided to join us, and he's being a bad kitty, but he's so cute, so it's fine. This year, 2023, has been one of the best years in gaming, probably the best year in gaming. All of the games that are here, I get it. I get why they're all nominated. I feel like they all could win and I wouldn't be upset, straight up. But I had to think about what I was gonna vote for. Now, I do, at the end of the year, do my own personal Game of the Year, top 10 games of 2023, which will happen because I still have some games that I need to play that I didn't get around to because there's been so many games and I've been so busy. But that will be my definitive Game of the Year, like for me personally, not what I'm voting for. And I'm also gonna speculate on what I think will win versus what I'm voting for. I really like to critique games in a productive way, obviously. Like, I like to be critical when I play these games and really think about how I felt playing them and how I think other people will feel playing them. And I normally like to do reviews, but because I haven't had time to do reviews on my channel for the past few years, this is my nice opportunity to kind of talk about these games in a critical way. I'm not going to go into too many details. I'll try and keep it as concise as possible, but I will be talking about why I vote for what I vote for as well. So yeah, let's do it. This was released yesterday and I couldn't bring myself to voting because I just really had to stew on it. So anyway, Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Alan Wake 2, I just platinum. This is a super quirky cult classic art house game that was a million times better than Alan Wake 1. The art design, the creepiness, the horror vibes, the atmosphere was all very, very, very beautiful and also creepy. Going head to head with another survival horror game, Resident Evil 4, which also had amazing environments and a creepy vibe. This one felt a little bit more art house. It had more Silent Hill vibes where it was more atmospheric versus creepy from enemy designs like Resident Evil 4 is. And I did feel like they took a lot of inspiration from Silent Hill 2. This game felt like the modern Silent Hill 2 game that I wanted because it included manipulating the environment to find different items and different things. It had the map similar to Silent Hill map, which I really liked, and Remedy, historically not very good at making maps, so good on you for making a great map because the Control map sucked. And it melded the Control and the Alan Wake world nicely. I know the DLC did that as well for Control, and even partially the DLC for Alan Wake, they added some stuff that connected it to Control. But this game, certainly you felt the presence of the Federal Bureau of Control in Control, and also obviously what is happening with Alan Wake and the characters in that world specifically. So art design on point. Technically, very gorgeous game, very amazing graphics. Oh my god, the way that they used the live action with the video game animation in the game was amazing. I just loved it so much. It was super creative and done so well. It didn't look pasted at all. It was just really good. The music was awesome. The way that they use music and performance in the game in certain levels, like We Sing, If You Know, You Know. Fantastic. The only criticism I have about this game, really, even though I was walking around, a bunch because there's no fast travel system, I didn't freaking care because the atmosphere was so good. But the one criticism I do have is that the ending felt a little fucked up. Like, not in like a good, creepy, dark way, which it was, but it just felt like it's leading people on a little bit too much when we've been waiting for 13 years for answers. And I'll leave it at that as to avoid spoilers. Anyway, fantastic game. I love it so much. And I'm a little bit with rose-tinted glasses because I just platinumed it yesterday when these nominees were released. Okay. Baldur's Gate 3, yo, straight up, y'all. I did not play it. I did not have time. There were so many games around that time. I'm going to play it. It's going to be my next game in November, December. Now that I finish Alan Wake 2, I still have to finish Lies of P, and then I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I started Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but I only played like one level, so I can't speak to that game. But yo, I hear it's like Mario World, which is my favorite game of all time and the very first game that I 100%ed as a child. In my whole life, that was the first game I 100%ed. That was the seed of my completionist whatever. Sorry. So I didn't play those two games, but I did recently platinum Spider-Man 2 right before I platinum Alan Wake 2. This is another amazing game. How they managed to make New York still feel fresh, even though it's the same kind of map with some added details, is amazing. The story that they told I thought was really good. I do feel though that they mashed a little bit too much into the game. Too many characters, too many villains, too many story plots, that a lot of the character and story threads weren't fleshed out enough in a sensible way. There was a lot more that I felt like they could have explored. But I did like that this was a short, contained experience that didn't feel like busy work or anything like that. It was just a lot of fun. And swing around New York City has been amazing since the first Spider-Man game that released on the PlayStation 4 by Insomniac. Also, like, Insomniac put so much cool technology, like seeing all the details on the suits, the damage on the suits, just environmental details where every single battle you had stood there, like all the destruction stood there, even when you swung around in the open world during exploration and New York City had to rebuild it. Like, it's such attention to detail, graphical prowess, technical prowess, seeing the Ratchet and Clank technology used during the Black Cat mission. Like, there was so much good in this game. Obviously, the story was really good despite packing in a lot. I did feel like everything paid off well and concluded well and got me excited for Spider-Man 3. And I'll leave it at that as to avoid spoilers. But I mean, these Spider-Man games are so fun, and they always go head to head in a year where there's so many other good games. Like when Spider-Man 1 came out, it was going against Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War 2018, I believe. Come on, like come on. Spider-Man definitely is a Game of the Year worthy game, but it's always going head to head with something so strong. So I love that game. It was so fun. It was great. But Resident Evil 4, oh God. Oh my God. First of all, Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games ever made, and that's the OG. That game is solid as shit, and for it to come out a long time ago and still hold up till this day if you play the OG, yeah, it's a little bit janky, but it's still a fantastic game with so much like campy dialogue and creepy environments, but still like an action game core to the core. Even though it's survival horror, it's more action than anything. It was when Resident Evil actually started moving towards action a little bit more hardcore. It's just amazing. Like, it makes me chuckle. It scares me. It's fun. Like, I feel like the pacing of this game is perfect, much like Dead Space, which it was not nominated this year, but I wouldn't have been mad if it was. But I get it. There's too many good games. But yeah, the pacing of the game, of the combat, where it revs up as you get stronger. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It gets to the point. Even though it's a longer Resident Evil for a Resident Evil game, because it's so action focused, it felt like a contained experience. And I wish that more games were like this. It was very much the spirit of its time. And nowadays games feel like packing a little bit too much in. But of the games that I played, Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, none of those games overstay its welcome. They're all very contained. In fact, Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake 2 were the first games that I platinumed since February, where I platinumed Metal Gear Solid 3, because all of the games that released, including Resident Evil 4, had a little bit too much to do for the platinum, like replaying the game over and over and over again. And there were certain things that I just didn't feel like were fun, and it just felt like work. So that's why. But anyway, Resident Evil 4 as a core experience, even the Separate Ways DLC was just fantastic, and they did so many new cool things with that DLC than they did in the original DLC, such as adding the grappling hook and adding a little more character and environmental details to the DLC. Getting to know Ada and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I thought the character redesigns overall were really good. I thought it was one of the best remakes ever. They made some changes, but I felt like they still paid really good homage to the original. There were a few characters that maybe could have been done better, like Salazar, but either way, it was a great remake. I enjoyed it so much, and I'm a sucker for survival horror. It's my favorite genre, so obviously Alan Wake 2 and Resident Evil 4 have a bit of an edge because of that. But they're not just good horror games in their own right, they're actually just really good games, period, graphically, technically, and I'm glad that this remake was just did so much justice for the original. I was a little bit nervous about that. And the last one I played was Tears of the Kingdom. Oh my god. This game made Breath of the Wild look like a freaking beta, yo. Straight up. Like, Breath of the Wild was already a massive experience that was a huge influence for the map of Elden Ring, which was my favorite game of all time. And for Tears of the Kingdom to make Breath of the Wild look like a beta in the gameplay, in the scope, in the scale, in the amount that you could do, in the amount of freedom that you have, in the map, like having the sky world and then the underground depths and stuff like that. It's just like, how did they do this? And the good thing about it is there's so much to do in this world, and yet the game didn't make me feel like I had to do any of it unless I wanted to. It was just kind of like me stumbling upon whatever I wanted to do at whatever pace I wanted to do it, and it didn't make me feel obligated to do it like I did in like Final Fantasy 16, where every time side missions popped up, I was like, oh, I guess I gotta spend 4 hours doing this. This game is special. Breath of the Wild was special. This game did everything better than Breath of the Wild by a tenfold, and that's a huge testament because I didn't know how they could top it, and they did. The characters, the story was amazing. The influence that Zelda had in the game was so heartfelt. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but obviously the story really touched me. The environments were gorgeous. Like, there's so much good in this game. It's just very pretty, very relaxing. I played it on my flight to go to Florida to visit my dad, and I just never got tired of playing it. It helped me get through some anxiety and potential panic attacks because of the music and the vibe, and it's so serene and cool, even though the depths are very creepy, and I just like that dynamic anyway. And I mean, Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time. This Link has I've been following Link since I was a baby. Like, for it to evolve in this way and go head to head with modern games, and be one of the best of its class is just amazing. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. Like, honestly, no shade to like Mario, but like Link should have been Nintendo's poster boy. But yeah, I love this game, and I love all these games that I played. I'm pretty sure when I play Baldur's Gate 3 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I'm gonna be even more torn about what to choose. Alright, I just rambled a lot. I'm very passionate about games. I love video games. It's like my favorite hobby ever. I can't choose right now, though. I will, though, before the end of this video. And based on everything that I said, I think I narrowed it down to 2 games. Fuck. Now I gotta decide between the 2 games. Okay. Let's go back to this. All right. Now that I rambled. Best Game Direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I definitely have to give this to Alan Wake 2. Now, once again, I did not play Baldur's Gate, so I'm sorry. Come back for my Game of the Year episode, which will be posted at the end of December, and maybe Baldur's Gate will be there because I would have played it. Okay, keep going. Best Narrative, outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. I didn't play Phantom Liberty, but I fucking love Cyberpunk 2077. That was with all the bullshit, straight up. So if I hear Phantom Liberty is just that game, the way it was supposed to be and better. So I can't vote for this, but Cyberpunk, great. I love that story and the characters. I'm gonna give this one to Final Fantasy VII 16. Wow, Final Fantasy 16, because of the active lore system, where at any point of the game you can pull up this menu that will tell you all of the details about the lore being explored in that specific cutscene or area of the game. And I want more games to innovate this system, because this game is lore heavy. There was a lot going on, a lot of locations, a lot of politics, a lot of betrayal, a lot of twisting and turning, kind of like interactions between characters, a lot of different relationships, a lot of animals and beasts and creatures, and a lot of different a lot of history and a lot of war, like a lot of things that I felt like I retained because of this active lore system. And so I think I'm going to give it to Final Fantasy 16 because of that, because it was a really good story. I really enjoyed it a lot. It ended a little like not great in my opinion. Like it was a fine ending. No, actually the ending was really heartfelt, but kind of the conclusion of the main villain didn't hit as much as I wanted to. So I'm gonna go for Final Fantasy 16 because of that. I would say Alan Wake 2, or even Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 had a little bit too much packed in, and Alan Wake 2 ended in a way that I can see being very controversial for fans of the game, especially fans who have been playing this game for 13 years, this series rather. Okay, Best Art Direction for Outstanding Creative and or Technical Achievement in Artistic Design and Animation. Oh man. Artistic design and animation. Gosh, technical achievement. I'm torn. I love Lies of P. That's such a good game, but I wouldn't give it to like, in terms of technical achievement, I wouldn't give it to Lies of P. Although the art design was really cool, but it was still very inspired by Bloodborne. Hi-Fi Rush, honestly, I didn't like this game as much as people. I played halfway through it and I was like, it's okay. I mean, it was nice and refreshing to have a game that felt like PS2 style, like Jet Grind Radio or something like that, but I don't know, it just didn't hit for me, I think, in the way that it did with people. And I think that's because I was starting a new job, and for a lot of people this was the first game that released and it was a shadow drop, and so people like were really excited to have this like unexpected experience come to them. There was no anticipation, it just happened, and it was the only game for people to play, so there were a lot of eyes on it. I think that's why it was successful. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I just think that maybe it had a bigger audience because of the timing of its release and the way it was released. So, art, like, oh man. I'm torn between Alan Wake 2 and Tears of the Kingdom. Artistic design, I gotta give it to Alan Wake 2 because of the use of live action with the game. That was really cool. I've never seen anything done in that way, so I'll give it to Alan Wake 2. This is gonna help me vote for Game of the Year doing this. Best Score and Music for Outstanding Music, Inclusive Score, Original Song, and Licensed Soundtrack. Straight up, Final Fantasy 16 had a banger soundtrack. Alan Wake 2 had a banger soundtrack. The music in this game was okay. I didn't think it was that great. I gotta give it to Tears of the Kingdom, man. Nothing touches Zelda. Nothing touches Zelda ever with music. Ever. Never. It's just, the music has been good since forever. And it was no different in Tears of the Kingdom. Best audio design, best in-game audio and sound design. Damn. This, Spider-Man 2 had some weird audio stuff. Resident Evil 4 had good audio design. So did Dead Space. And so did Alan Wake 2. I think I'm gonna give it to Dead Space just because I want to give that game some love, because it was definitely like one of my top 5 favorite games this year. Maybe top 6, I don't know. Yeah, the stomping sounds, the sounds of the infected, what were they called again? Oh my god, I can't. Necromorphs? Were they called necromorphs? Maybe? Sorry, I watch and play a lot of horror, so I meld them into my head together. Wait, necromorphs were maybe from Evil Dead. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? I can't remember. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna say Dead Space because of the sound of that, the way the sound plays when you're in a zero gravity section. Honestly though, if Alan Wake 2 or Resident Evil 4 got it, I would not be upset either. Like, they all equally have their own sound design, good sound design, but I'm gonna give it to Dead Space. I'm so excited and so... Best Performance awarded to an individual for voice-over acting, motion, and or performance capture. Alright, so Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, he played Clive. Cameron Monaghan from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, who played, wow, what's his name? I played this game and, oh god, it's on the tip of my tongue. You're yelling at me, right? You're yelling at me. I'm having a bit of a brain fart. Cal Kestis, there you go. Idris Elba from Cyberpunk, I didn't play it, so I couldn't vote for him. Melanie Liburd from Alan Wake 2, this was Saga. Neil Nubin from Baldur's Gate 3, I didn't play that game. And Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I think I might have to go for Ben Starr on this one, just simply because of the amount of range that that man had, demonstrating emotion. Going from cool, calm, and collective to being like very like emotional. Like you felt the rage in his voice. Yuri also had something similar, and he played like the kid version of himself as well, which was awesome. But I'm gonna have to go with Ben Starr in Final Fantasy 16. All right, innovation and accessibility, recognizing software and/or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. I didn't play Mortal Kombat 1 or Street Fighter. I'm gonna go with Marvel Spider-Man 2 because they did have a lot of accessibility options. Overall, they changed the gameplay to be more accessible, period, which some people might criticize. I didn't play any of these games for Impact. What does that say about me? I don't know. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip that. How do I skip that? Next. Best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. I don't really play ongoing games. I want to vote for Cyberpunk simply because they had a resurgence, but I feel like you shouldn't be rewarded over these other games because you released your game fucked up and now you decided to fix it after people like paid money for it. So I'm gonna skip this category. Best community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsive, inclusive of social media activity, and game updates, patches. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I hear Destiny's getting a lot of shit though. No Man's Sky is still going strong. Shout out. I'm not gonna vote though. I can't. I don't even play most of these games. Best independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game mode outside of the traditional publisher system. I'd probably vote for Sea of Stars based on the little bit that I've seen played, but I have not gotten to play it and I want to. I also want to play Cocoon, but I haven't gotten to play it, so I can't vote, but it'd probably be Sea of Stars. I also want to play Dredge too, but it'd probably be Sea of Stars, but I'm not going to vote because I didn't play. Best debut indie. I'd probably vote Cocoon or Dredge based on what I've seen, but I haven't played those games, so I'm skipping it. Indie games not as strong this year as they were last year or the year before. Best mobile game. I don't play mobile games, so I will skip it. Best VR AR. I don't play VR AR games, but I think Resident Evil VR maybe might be the pick. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I would predict. Shit. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Best action game. Oh my god. I didn't play Dead Island 2. I didn't play Ghost Runner. I didn't finish Hi-Fi Rush, and I didn't play Remnant 2. But my god, Armored Core 6 was fantastic. I freaking love the game. I love the action. I love making all the different builds. I love the boss fights. They were like kind of like From Software Unforgiving, but still like felt like Armored Core. I'm gonna give it to Armored Core. I love that game so much. It was also a very good looking game. Honestly, though, another game's probably gonna win. Best action adventure game combining combat and traversal. Oh, I gotta go to Spider-Man, man. The traversal is so good in that game. The puzzle solving, not so much. Puzzle solving, I would give to probably Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, but Tears of the Kingdom had good traversal as well. Oh man, this is hard. And the combat is also fun in Tears of the Kingdom. It's like toe-to-toe for me for Spider-Man 2 and Tears of the Kingdom. I think I'm going to give it to Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Because the traversal is just so good. And they just made it better. Alright, best RPG. For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. So, I feel like it's going to go to Baldur's Gate 3 without a doubt, but because I haven't played it. Starfield wasn't good at all. I didn't like it. I played like 20 hours and I was like, this is boring. And I love Fallout and Skyrim. Final Fantasy 16 straight up didn't feel like an RPG. Like, it really didn't. Liza P, I love. Oh god, I love this game. I don't think it's worthy, but it's the only one that I really played. I almost want to vote for Baldur's Gate 3 because I feel like it does what every RPG should do, but I haven't played it. Is that right? I'm gonna vote for Liza P. That's it's the only game that I played. But it would probably be Baldur's Gate 3. Best fighting game, I haven't played any of them, but I'm guessing Street Fighter 6 is gonna win. Maybe Mortal Kombat 1, but probably Street Fighter 6. Best family game, oh, I played Party Animals for the first time recently. It's probably gonna go to Super Mario Bros. Wonder though. I'm gonna vote. Just because I know it's gonna be my favorite of those games from what I played so far. I don't play any of these games, but I'm guessing Pikmin 4. I'm voting for it just because those other games are not gonna beat it. I don't play sports or racing games. Oops. So I'm skipping that. Best multiplayer, outstanding online multiplayer game, play and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experience, irrespective of game genre or platform. People are probably gonna vote Baldur's Gate. I'll vote Diablo. Although I heard that had some problems. I really like Diablo though. I didn't finish it, but I really liked it. I still gotta finish that too. There were too many games this year. Oh my god. Best adaptation, Castlevania wasn't as good as the other ones. I didn't see Gran Turismo. Last of Us was amazing. Twisted Metal is surprisingly good. It wasn't as good though as, it was way better than I thought, but that's not saying much. Super Mario Bros was eh. I didn't think it was that great. I'm gonna go for The Last of Us, for sure. That was an amazing adaptation. Also One Piece. Most anticipated game. Recognized as an announced game that has demonstratively illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Final Fantasy Rebirth, yes! Hades 2? Oh shit, I still gotta play Hades 1 though. I didn't finish it. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Star Wars Outlaws. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Tekken 8. I think what's gonna win, either Hades or Final Fantasy 7, but I'm gonna say Final Fantasy 7 for my vote and what I think is gonna win. I don't know any content creators. I don't recognize any of these people. I'm so sorry. I don't do esports. I don't do that. I don't know these people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know any of this. Yeah, yep, I have no idea. Okay, so I'm gonna exit voting for a minute. Start again. And we gotta vote for Game of the Year. So based on everything that I've said, all of the blabbering that I've done, which I'm so sorry, I have so many thoughts. I think, as of now, it may change when I do my own in December, okay? And I wanna know yours in the comments, so please tell me what you voted for. It's between Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Alan Wake 2. And I only discovered that now because for me, it was between Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Tears of the Kingdom. But after reflecting on the narrative pushed in here, how much more creative Alan Wake 2 is than Resident Evil 4 in technical and creative achievements. Oh, God. I feel like either Zelda or Baldur's Gate 3 are gonna win. I feel like it's between these two. But for me, I have no complaints about Zelda. I have none. No complaints whatsoever about Zelda. I have a minor complaint about Alan, but it's just a minor one, and they're both masterpieces. Actually, I do have complaints about Zelda. The horses. They should be called from anywhere. But that's a nitpick, isn't it? This is so hard. I'm trying to envision myself playing these games again. I'm trying not to let my recency bias come into play here. It's really not that serious, though. Our vote is fucking 10% collectively, so. But still, I like to think about it. They're both so impressive in their own right. I like Zelda's story more overall, which is rare because sometimes Zelda stories are a bit too vague. Alan Wake 2, very vague. Story, I would have to give it to Zelda. Art design, I would have to give it to Alan Wake. Traversal, I would have to give it to Zelda, right? Music, Zelda. Technical achievement, Alan Wake. Innovation, Alan Wake. Combat, Zelda. Fuck. What else is there? Zelda also had innovation though with the building. I'm gonna vote Zelda. That's it. I did it. I did it. It was so hard. It's crazy though because I voted for Alan Wake. Alan Wake got actually nominated for more Look at all the categories that it got nominated for. Holy moly. Wait a minute. Hold on. Like, it's actually in more categories than Zelda. Best art direction. Yep. Best score. Best audio design. It could have been that. I think I voted for Alan Wake more than anything in the other categories. You know what I mean? Honestly, yo, if either of them win, I won't be mad. Honestly, if any of the games win, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna be happy no matter what. No matter what, I will be happy. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I'm secure in my decision. I think I am. Honestly, this is Zelda, this is Alan Wake, and then right under this is RE4, and then Spider-Man. It's like they're all there. They're all good games for what they are. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry, y'all. This was hard. It was hard, and I've thought about it too. I thought about it in the shower and before bed, but we finally voted. My choice will most certainly change in December. It might not be Zelda at all. So I encourage you to come back for that. I did this for 2022 as well, where I did my Game Awards Game of the Year, and then I did my personal Game of the Year and my top 10 most anticipated as well in January. So you can check those out if you want to. I will be doing that again. I'll do my Game of the Year, my personal Game of the Year, top 10 games of the year in December at the end. And then in January 2024, I will do my most anticipated games, the top 10. So, okay, I'm losing my voice and I have to go back to work. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Let me know what you voted for. I would really love to hear that. And thank you. I hope you liked it. Bye.